Did you know that going more than 48 hours without sleep can lead to hallucinations, paranoia, and a complete breakdown of reality? Sleep deprivation doesn't just rob you of rest, it hijacks your mind, leaving you vulnerable to the darkest corners of your psyche. In the early 20th century, an experiment rumored to have taken place in Soviet Russia took sleep deprivation to horrifying extremes. This is the Russian sleep experiment, where science, horror, and psychological torment collide. A group of researchers set out to explore the limits of human endurance when it comes to sleeplessness. Their test subjects? Political prisoners, desperate, unknown, disposable in the eyes of the state. The researchers sealed these subjects in a chamber, dosed them with a potent experimental gas designed to eliminate their need for sleep, and monitored every moment. Initially, the experiment seemed straightforward. Keep these individuals awake and document the physiological and psychological consequences. But as days turned to nights, and nights bled into endless cycles of torment, ethical concerns festered. The researchers ignored the subjects' agonizing pleas and increasingly erratic behavior, all in the name of progress. We have to ask ourselves, at what cost does scientific curiosity become inhumane? As the experiment continued, the subjects displayed unthinkable mental and physical changes. Their eyes, sunken and wild, darted at unseen threats. They stopped conversing in coherent sentences, replacing human speech with guttural cries. Some turned violent, attacking each other in desperate fits of rage. Food was left untouched for days. Sleep was replaced by madness. Why did they keep them sealed in the chamber? Fear. Fear of what lay beyond the observation window. Fear of how these broken minds would act if released. And fear of official repercussions if the experiment were cut short. The ethical boundary of science was not just crossed, it was shattered. When the researchers finally opened the chamber, they were met with an unspeakable sight. The subjects were barely recognizable as human, their flesh torn, their eyes aflame with a twisted sense of awareness. They begged for the gas to be turned back on, to remain awake, to continue the torment they had grown to need, like oxygen. In a final confrontation, one subject locked eyes with a researcher and asked, "Have you forgotten